Three things you can count on in 2021, ladies and gentlemen: death, taxes, and people being offended on behalf of another group of people that's not offended. We're going to get into that this week. One take. Let's go. Okay, this week on the top of the fake outrage agenda, Morgan Wallen's getting canceled, Justin Timberlake's getting canceled, and Gina Carano is getting canceled. And I was like, yes, thank you. Finally, we're canceling these people for his haircut, for his outfit, and for the 2009 Cyborg fight that I paid for on pay-per-view that was a tremendous letdown. Oh, what's that? They're getting canceled for other things? Oh yeah, I forgot. Fake outrage. People love that. And listen, there's been a lot of things that have been made about cancel culture and virtue signaling and all that. That's not what we're getting into today. We are talking about people being offended on behalf of other people that are not offended. But as usual, before we get into the episode, this is going to go bad. We got to discuss our sponsor. And our sponsor this week is none other than the good people over at PETA. Yeah, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals have sponsored this podcast. Very kind of them. All they've asked is you can donate your time or money to support PETA, or you can do both and kill two birds with one stone. Come on, John. Really? Off the top, don't do this. Listen, you can donate your money or you can donate your time. Either one. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Come on. That's two PETA jokes. John, we don't need this. Listen, I know I really don't have time to read this whole ad because honestly, I've other fish to fry. I'm 3 for 3 out of the gate today, baby. This is my favorite show on TV. Listen, there's a lot of good people over there at PETA. Honestly, there's so many volunteers all across this country. You can't swing a dead horse without hitting one of these. Okay, I'm done. Listen, that's the last joke. We're gonna actually talk about PETA at the end of this episode. That was just a teaser. But listen, here's what we're going to talk about today. People love being offended. We knew that. That's been going on for a long time. But there's a limited amount of things that people are actually offended about because people are strong, genuine people. So a little hack that people have created recently is to be offended on behalf of another group that is in fact not offended. That opens up the whole new world of unbelievable amount of offense. Just imagine getting on the internet and being offended on behalf of someone else. It's like the height of imagined nobility, fake martyrdom, and the impenetrable victim mentality that people like to strap on and head on out there into Twitter. That was unnecessary. I didn't need to do that. But listen, being offended is kind of like a sign of weakness, but being offended on behalf of other people is like a fake way to be strong because you're always be like, listen, I'm not offended. I'm cool. I'm fun. I don't get offended by anything. I'm chill. But these people are offended. And I can literally show you a million examples. We don't have time in the show for all that, but listen, I mean, we could start with the Black Lives Matter movement. You know where the largest and most violent Black Lives Matter protests were? Portland. Portland? Hey, real quick, you know where no black people live? Portland. All these white... entitled white people on the move to speak on behalf of the African American community, which, oh, by the way, they were like, hey, listen, y'all don't speak for us. This is not what we're about. They were trying to separate, and it's happened a million times. I don't know why my voice just cracked like that. Over and over and over, you see people have been protesting the Washington Redskins for years. And quick edit. Native Americans have not been protesting. White people have been protesting. And look at white people that I am for sure have no relationship with any Native Americans. Like, you talk to any Native American, they're like, yo, we're good. With the Redskins was actually, you can have that name. We're just over here taking all y'all's money with the casino. So everything, we're good. Don't interrupt us. Please continue with your distractions and virtue signaling. White people to the rescue. I was doing some research. John, I love it when you do research. It makes you sound so intelligent. Post a link to an article. There was a Fast Company article that I read about being offended. And listen, look at this. It says that at the end, at the bottom of all offense is actually a sense of entitlement. It's a sense of entitlement that you think your value system is more important than someone else's value system. The whole thing being offended on the internet, why is so much cancel culture? Why is this happening? Why all the fake outrage? It's because of the rise of entitlement. That makes literally the most sense. John, why do you make such... I thought you were a comedian. You're just out here on this new show making so many good points. I mean, I love you and all your videos and I laugh, but this is making me very uncomfortable. I'm speaking on your behalf. Listen, I shouldn't be doing it. I can tell you a million examples from my own personal life. I remember in Columbia, South Carolina, and these people have the right to be offended. They live in Columbia, South Carolina. Come on, John, no. I did a joke about Catholics and I don't remember what the joke was, them drinking or something like that. And this woman literally assaults me in the lobby after the show. I can't believe you would make that joke. This is how Southern people talk. You would make that joke about Catholicism. My aunt is a Catholic and she would be furious. I was like, well, where is she? I'd be happy to talk to her. She goes, oh, she's not here. I go, what? What are we doing? She's not, you're offended on behalf of her and she's not even here. What? I mean, I make a million jokes, apparently, because I posted a bunch of these recently on my socials. Me calling out babies in my show, like babies start crying, like, hey, shut that baby up. And there's so many like entitled moms to the rescue. You should not talk. These mothers are really having a hard time finding babysitters and they have enjoyed your show. It's embarrassing for you to call them out. Well, literally every time that happens, the mom comes back after the meet and greet and like, that was the best thing that's ever happened. That was an amazing roast. Thank you. One time I signed a baby's forehead, but everyone on the internet is offended on behalf of her, but she's not offended. What's going on? I'll tell you an example where I was on the opposite side, where I was actually offended. I remember being at a Sarah Silverman comedy show, and I was sitting in the back of the show, and I like Sarah Silverman, I like her comedy, and there was a joke about Jesus that I don't know how to say this. I thought it was across the line. And you know what I did? I just got up and I walked out of the show. And that was the end of it. Because I didn't put my value system on all those other people at the comedy show. Because think about that. There was hundreds of people dying laughing at the joke. It was a funny joke, not to me, but it was funny. And I don't know Sarah Silverman personally, but I feel like she would support, if you're offended by something, by all means, everybody has the right to be offended. You should keep that and you should protect that. Everybody's been through a lot of things in their own lives. And that joke about Christianity, to me, I found that to be offensive, but I didn't get home and write a blog about it. I didn't unfollow her on the internet. And I'm actually glad I didn't, because recently Sarah Silverman has said some very, very poignant things about the cancel culture that I agree with tremendously. So I'm glad we didn't cancel her or throw her out. And I don't speak on behalf of all Christians. I wasn't like, Sarah Silverman, I don't know why I keep doing this. Sarah Silverman is a mockery to all Christians. I don't think that. Because listen, I'm a Christian, but I don't speak on behalf of all Christians. Mind blown. Listen, I'm white, but I don't speak on behalf of all white people. I'm homeschooled, but I don't speak on behalf of all homeschoolers. I'm not that entitled. I am kind of entitled, but I'm not that entitled to put my value system on all other people. And I was trying to, you know what? This show is about solutions. As you guys know, John, you always help us so much. You don't talk like that. No one does. I was reading an article about offense in Psychology Today, and I'm going to read this. It says, but in trying to avoid being offended by things, it said, consider your reactivity may be closely tied to your own self-absorption. If this mic didn't literally cost me $5,000, I would pick it up and drop it on the floor. Your own self-absorption is what's leading to all your offense on the internet or in real life. I was in a coffee shop the other day and I was waiting in line to get coffee, and I was social distance, and there was no mask. I live in Nashville. There's no mask mandate at this place anymore. I was waiting in line, and I was behind, and this lady in front of me goes, I'm doing an impersonation of her that's not accurate. Can you please put on your mask? And I was like, no. I just said no. I'm social distance. I'm not near anyone. I'm not going to put on my mask. And she goes, for the workers, you're getting up close to the desk and the worker. I go, well, let them speak. If they're offended or they want me to wear a mask, I'll be happy to do so. But you acted offended and I didn't comply. So then your next weapon in your sling, what is it? Arrow sheath? What's it called? Shoot. quiver. Your next arrow in the quiver is to be offended on behalf of someone else. And to me, that if you're going to speak on behalf of someone else, it's literally the most disrespectful thing you can possibly do, because you're silencing the voice of the people that need to speak. I mean, like, what about the cashier? Let him speak. Like, he cannot speak for himself. If I was that cashier, I'd be like, listen, Karen, don't speak on my behalf. This example has gone too far. I'm just saying, there's so many people just hopping on the internet, and they're honestly, I don't even want to bring attention to it, because these people are just embarrassing themselves. Like, look at this person. After the Bucks got to the Super Bowl, this lady, I think it's a lady, I don't want to misgender her. Come on, John, you made that joke last week. Don't do it again. I guarantee you she has she, her in her Instagram bio. John, don't do this. They said that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers mascot is offensive because we're honoring pirate culture. Okay, but who's mad? Like, trace it. I want to go find the person today that's angry at that. It's so, of everything going on in the world today, you think someone is insecure and the mind is so minute that they're mad at that? They're not. You are, lady on the internet, you're mad. But just because Tom Brady's more successful than you, Morgan Wallen's more successful than you, Justin Timberlake's more successful than you, just that's why you're mad. You're like, if we're both here, someone elevates themselves, how do we bring them down? That's all this is about. I got my own personal experiences with this, so I probably shouldn't speak more on this topic. I'm just saying, people are always mad for no reason at other people. Like, remember during the whole COVID thing? Well, it's still going on kind of, but the whole argument, if you weren't going to wear a mask or if you weren't going to social, what about grandma? John, what about grandma? Do you want to kill my grandma? Meanwhile, grandma's like, dude, if y'all cancel bingo this week, I'm going to be pissed. Dude, that's literally the only thing I got going, the only thing to look forward to. Please do not, I will die before you take away bingo. I don't know. I don't speak on behalf of elderly people. I do for this episode. I'm just kidding. I don't. But listen, everybody, take the Morgan Wallen thing, for example. Everyone was just furious. Well, check that. Sorry, everyone wasn't furious at Morgan Wallen. White people were furious at Morgan Wallen because there was a video that surfaced about him using some derogatory language. He used the N-word. I'll just say it like that. And white people were absolutely furious. Well, white people on the internet, because in real life, white, no one was mad, but on the internet, CMT, what a complete joke of a network, was like, we will never support Morgan Wallen. I don't know why they sound like the old guy from Family Guy. They were like, none of our platforms will we ever say something about Morgan. Hey, I'm going to give you a quick pause in the episode. When's the last time literally anyone turned on CMT? I'll wait. Oh, yeah, because it's never. Okay, that's unnecessary. But all I'm saying is that white people ran to the rescue of black people last week. And black people, I shouldn't speak on their behalf, but weren't that offended. How do I know that? Because they don't listen to country music, and they're like, yeah, okay, y'all are over there. We got other things to worry about. And I only know that because I went out on Saturday night to have some fun with some friends. We were out at a bar, and all the songs were Morgan Wallen. They literally playing Morgan Wallen all night. And red, yellow, black, and white, all the people precious in his sight were all dancing and singing along together. I was like, wait, but what happened to the internet? Because they were mad, but everyone's in here requesting a song, singing like that. What? This doesn't make any sense. Why? Because the entitlement, I'm going to make this an emoji. Or makes this the gift. The entitlement of the white. It's like white people. Whenever something randomly wrong happens on the internet, I imagine it's like the 4 fists from Captain Planet. Entitled white people to the rescue. But are we going to do anything in real life? No, absolutely not. But it feels good to get entitled on the internet. Same thing with remember when what's it called? The Apple Store took away the gun, there's like an emoji water gun now. They were like, what about all the mass shootings? The mass shootings, John, we got to take away the gun. It's offensive. To who? To who? To who? That just needs to be a GIF. To who? Find the person that is offended by the gun emoji. You won't find them. I don't know why I whispered that. You literally won't find them. But listen, I want to wrap this up by saying, if you're going to speak on behalf of another group on the internet, make absolutely, positively sure that that group has asked you to speak on their behalf. And then when that's the case, that's absolutely life-changing. I know there's some missionary groups in foreign countries that have brought to light things that we didn't know about, where groups that didn't have a platform, they've spoken on their behalf, or people with mental illness that people have spoken on their behalf, and that's beautiful. But if you're going to speak on someone's behalf, make absolutely positive that that group has asked you to speak for them. Coming full circle, the good people over at PETA, as if being offended on behalf of other humans wasn't enough, these people have found a way. These people have found a way to be offended now on behalf of animals. They're saying that you should not call your pet a pet and call it a companion, because Lord in heaven, I need to calm myself down. This is so... Let me get through this episode without saying any swear words. They are saying that the word pet is offensive to pets. To pets, you could literally call your dog Hitler and it would greet you all over the mouth when you walked in the door. Pets are not... By the way, pets can't speak. Okay, I need to calm down. I'm getting too... Listen. I'll give you one thing that happened at one of my shows one time. I make a lot of jokes, especially about Christianity and the subculture surrounding it. And for a long time, I had a joke about Joel Osteen, which is one of my favorite jokes. And I was doing a show at a church in Houston, Texas, a show that Joel Osteen, in fact, planted. And people were like, are you going to do the joke? What about Joel? What if Joel Osteen hears about it? He's going to be mad. And my agent was like, don't do the joke. What if Joel Osteen, and I was like, I'll do the joke. I don't care, because I have no conscience. And I did the joke, and it crushed. First of all, everyone was dying laughing. And then after the show, somebody was like, hey, one of Joel Osteen's, I can't remember, it was either like a sister-in-law or a nephew or or somebody was like, he wants to talk to you. And he came back, and I was a little bit nervous because I don't want to offend anybody at my shows or anything. And he goes, dude, gave me a big hug, and he goes, dude, that Joel Osteen joke was hilarious. And listen, I'm telling you right now, if my dad, or I don't know who it was, my dad or my uncle, if Joel heard that joke, he would be dying laughing. But so many people for so many years have been offended about that joke on behalf of him. Listen. I'll end with a quote from a book. I feel like I've said I'll end like 10 times. I'll end with a quote from my book, a Richard Rohr book called Falling Upward. And this is a quote. I circled it, underlined it, highlighted it. I ripped out the page and put it on my mirror. And I'll just read the quote. More suffering has come into the world by people taking offense than by people intending to give it. More suffering has come into the world by people taking offense than by people intending to give it. Isn't that crazy? But people, entitled white people, weaponize offense and get out there on Twitter and run around and pillage and slash the internet all day, only to come home to the village to say, look, we won the war. And just imagine that. You come home bruised and bloodied to a village that you think is going to be welcoming you home from war, only to get home and everyone in the village say, hey, we didn't ask you to go fight for us. We didn't even want you to go to war on our behalf. What are you doing? Take she, her out of your Twitter bio. Come on, John, that wasn't necessary. I had to end on a joke. I'm just saying, there's probably something in this whole episode. This is a long episode. You could probably find something to get offended about. So why don't you take a little snippet of it, repost it on Twitter, and say how I'm the worst person ever. It'll be a great, everyone will win, you'll get offended, and everyone wins. We will see you next week.